hide the gun at Truth.
Well, you better go back there and get it before your father finds it.
He won't.
The moment that we've all been waiting for is finally here. Not only is this the final chapter of book 2, but we're finally getting Ghost back in the Power Universe. We're finally getting more of Ghost's story. And they're obviously going to want to hype up the fans with a big reveal that will take place in this final season that will make them anticipate this new spinoff even more. This could mean that the end for Raising Kanan is coming as well, because the showrunner is going to be running Power Origins, which most likely means that, like I've said in the past, Raquel will get her TV turned off in this next season. She took the Jews from Detective Howard, but she will obviously run out of Jews in this next season. Seriously, BMF? Seriously? Kanan and Breeze will be part of Power Origins, obviously. This is the final chapter. It has been broken up into 2 parts. And if a show like this big has been broken up into 2 parts, 9 times out of 10, that means that there was most likely reshoots towards the very end. And they're currently putting that together. Omari has reportedly been spotted in Chicago, literally just as Force started production. So they're clearly working on something behind the scenes. Omari also posted this to his Instagram story, clearly confirming the fact that he's back in the Power Universe. It's obvious from this teaser that Tariq is going to have a tough season. Ghost is clearly in this trailer. I'm going to show you exactly where he is. Stay tuned. And what further confirms that what I've been saying about Ghost and Tommy clocking Tariq is the fact that you can clearly see Tommy also in this teaser. You can see the bomber jacket on this guy. He's dressed in all black. Tariq went to someone that he can trust right here in this scene. And obviously Tommy would assist him in anything. That's in his nature. This guy is wearing the same bomber jacket that we saw on Tommy. This is clearly Tommy right here. Based on what Tommy told Tariq, he told him that this is not his war. Remember, right?
Tariq. This ain't my war.
Clearly referring to the fact that this is Ghost's war at the moment. Tommy, just like Ghost, he also faked his death. They're both lurking in the shadows. This is something that's in their nature. But obviously, for Tariq to convince Tommy to actually do something, the only thing that would change Tommy's mind at this moment, regardless if Ghost doesn't want him to participate, because the feds, if they find out that Tommy's still out there and he's alive in New York City, it's game over for Tommy.
Plus, in New York, I'm already dead.
Just look at the smirk on his face. He's clearly hiding something. It's obvious at this point. But the thing that's going to convince Tommy to actually help Tariq is obviously going to be money, which is why Tariq brings money to him. Or this could actually be Tommy helping them out with some money that they're going to need in order to get a little bit ahead in this season. Literally everybody is against Tariq at this point. Who else would they be going to at this point? Tommy would obviously respect Ghost's decision about staying out the way, but Tariq obviously does not know that Ghost is still out there. And obviously he's going to do everything he can to get Noma off his chest. But there's a lot of clues in this trailer that gives away the reveal of Ghost. First and foremost, let's break down the imagery of this teaser. The style of it is black and white, right? The text is also red. There's a lot of red in this text. And when they reveal Tariq in Truth, it's a very, very similar shot to the shot that we saw from the last time that we saw Ghost inside of the club. It's a very, very similar shot. And now, with that being said, many people seem to miss the biggest clue within the trailer, and it's hidden within the text. Omari Hardwick, he goes by a nickname. His nickname has always been O. Notice how as soon as they show Tariq, right, the text Ghost, the only letter, they could have highlighted the entire word Ghost, but the only letter that we saw highlighted was O as they showed Ghost. Tariq, he played a good example of Ghost, but Omari was always Ghost. And like I said, they could have highlighted that entire word as the title card for the final season of the show, but they only highlighted the letter O. Guys, Omari's nickname has always been O. This is clearly a major clue right here. This is also the same exact area where we last saw Ghost standing. It's right in our faces at this point. He's coming back in this next season. The fact that this teaser was only a minute long, it only shows us that they try to hide a lot of things. They're trying to hide a lot of things from us. There's also someone else in the same shot. To the left side of the screen, there's someone in a suit. It also looks like a gray suit. A very similar suit that Ghost always wore. That's what he had on in the series finale. But at the same time, this person looks like they don't have a beard. Remember, Ghost always had a beard. This person is clearly not rocking a beard, so it could definitely be someone else that Tariq is not even expecting to see. And more than likely, this could potentially be the final shot of the series right here. Him being inside of Truth, finally being in that position, and the fact that someone is approaching him, man, I feel like something could really happen to Tariq's character in this scene right here. Why else would someone be in a space where he's probably taking in that success that he just gained? This has to be someone who's been watching him all along. Michael Rainey Jr. confirmed that this season will have an abrupt ending, so it could end in a cliffhanger where something happens to him, but we don't necessarily see the entire aftermath of what happens. There's another character that I'll be exploring that not too many people have talked about that could be going after Tariq. This could be another major character that I'll be breaking down in another video. Stay tuned for that. Ghost is actually in one of these shots. This may surprise you, but he was right in plain sight. Now, remember back in the original series, Ghost, he always had a safe for his guns. He was someone who was always strapped up to protect himself. We never saw him with a regular gun.
Whoa. Wherever you are, you're making a big fucking mistake.
He always had a specific gun that he always used. He always used a silver gun, right? This same exact gun is in this trailer. Where did we see this same exact gun in the trailer? Here it is. This is clearly the same exact gun. Now, look at the reaction on Tariq's face. Look at the reaction on his face. It looks like he's looking at someone and he's really shocked by looking at this person. He's trying to figure out how exactly this person is still here. That's the reaction that he's giving off in this scene right here, in the shot. Who else would he be looking at like that? He seems really creeped out and curious as to why this person is in front of him at the moment. Look at the reaction on his eyes. We know that this is not Obi. Many people could argue that this is probably Obi because of the suit. After Norma finds out what he did behind her back and she sends him to take out Tariq. But this is not Obi. This is not Obi. Look at the skin tone on the person's hand. It's really light skinish. Ghost, he had a light skinish tone to him. Look at the hand. Also, on top of everything, Ghost would always wear suits. This person is wearing a suit. We saw him in a suit in the very first episode of the series, when he went after the witness as well, and in the very final episode as well. He didn't need to always be in a black hoodie, creeping up on people. He would also perform hits in his suit. They showed the same exact shot in the season 3 trailer where Tariq was aiming a gun at someone, but they never showed who it was, right? Now, here's the shot again. Who was Tommy always with the person that Tariq was aiming a gun to in the season 3 trailer was Tommy. It's obvious that the person that Tariq is aiming a gun to in the season 4 trailer is Ghost. It's right in our faces. They did this intentionally. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that Ghost is going to hurt Tariq. He's not trying to hurt Tariq here. He's trying to defend himself because the last time that he saw Tariq aimed the gun at him, and he's obviously going to want some answers as to how exactly he survived that night. These are clues that they give away to us. It's literally right in our faces at this point. Much like the scene that we saw Tommy in. Notice how this scene really looks like a very isolated area. This could potentially be Tasha's new place of staying, of hiding out, basically. Her new witness protection area. And it looks very, very similar to the scene. Very similar to the scene where we saw Tasha, Tariq, and Tommy. And I feel like they intentionally put this shot right here to let us know that, yes, Ghost will be back this season. Just like we saw Tommy in the previous season, it's going to be a similar situation. But I feel that certain things are going to be way more violent. Now that I'm certain that Tariq, like I said, he's going to get to Noma. He's going to make Noma upset about something. She looks defeated in this shot right here. She looks very upset about something. Whenever a character is drinking alcohol and power, that means that they're going through a really tough time. Something happened to Noma that caused her to drink liquor. She is obviously going to lose someone close to her in this season. She's going to try to destroy Tariq. Pretty much do everything she can to destroy Tariq. But obviously, Ghost is clearly not going to let that happen so easily. Do you guys honestly think that Tariq, who doesn't have any hands at all, I mean, it's sad at this point, but do you guys honestly see him taking on Noma just by himself? This is the perfect opportunity for Ghost to return. Ghost is not going to let that happen so easily. Now, what exactly is the scene and what exactly leads up to this scene? Let me explain. I believe the scene will be at the very end of episode 5, which is where part 1 will end. And that's going to be the review of Ghost. This is the only way that they're going to make sure the fans come back and watch part 2 of the final season. Tariq, he's going to go after Noma, because I'm sure Noma is going to want revenge from Tariq doing something bad to her. I feel like Tariq might get rid of her daughter as a way to show her that he's not to be played around with and that he could be just as dangerous as her. And Ghost, who's lurking in the shadows, is going to realize that Tariq is putting himself in a really bad spot by going this far with someone like Noma that I'm sure that he's been familiar with from his past. We never saw Ghost's past. We never saw what that looked like back then. And I'm sure that he crossed paths with Noma, Obi, just based on what Mecca said. Remember what Mecca said about Ghost.
I know about your dad, Ghost.
They knew each other at a certain point. They worked together. Obi and Noma, they were working for Mecca. Remember that. At a certain point, they all worked together.
I even know what you did to that motherfucker.
How did he know exactly what Tariq did? That was never public information. Someone had to have told him what went down, which further confirms that Ghost has been lurking in the shadows all along. He's been hiding in plain sight, like I've always said. And in this moment, the only role that Ghost would play if he's alive is to protect Tariq at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's his son. That's his own blood. He's also going to have guys like RSJ keep their eyes on Tariq and help out Tariq when it comes to the feds, because the feds, they're going to be closing in on Tariq, and we're definitely going to see RSJ get his hands dirty in this season. This could possibly be the last season for Blanca as well.
You don't understand. Let me explain.
RSJ ends up shooting her. Just like I told you guys, RSJ is working with Ghost. He's been working with Ghost this entire time. That's his child at the end of the day. and he's gonna try to protect them when it comes to someone like Noma. She has a lot of power. She's a very dangerous person, and she's more experienced than Tariq. And I'm sure that when he finds out that Tariq is really onto her and is about to have a confrontation with her, Ghost will get to her first. And this is where Tariq will walk into that room with his gun strapped up, ready to take her out. But instead of finding Noma, he finds Ghost. The gun is the same gun that Ghost always used, Silver Gun. Name me a character that we've seen in previous book seasons with a silver gun, ready for war. Ghost, he knew his ways around guns. He knew what guns he wanted to use, which is why I believe he saw Tariq coming from a mile away. He tampered with the gun that Tariq left in the club. Remember what Tasha said, go back there and get it before your father finds it.
I had to hide the gun at Truth.
Well, you better go back there and get it before your father finds it.
He won't.
Remember what Tommy told Ghost, we've been through worse.
You're gonna be alright, brother. You're gonna be alright. You hang in there for me, alright?
Come on, you've been through worse than this.
This is not the first time that someone tried to set up Ghost, and I'm sure that he was always on the lookout for anybody trying to get to him. Remember, Tariq literally said this to his face.
I swear to God I'll murder you myself. I promise you that.
He saw Tariq coming from a mile away. Nobody got his ways around guns like we saw him back then. The only person that we saw with a silver gun with different type of artillery was always Ghost. Here's the first silver gun that we've really seen in the series, and it's someone that's obviously way taller than Tariq pointing a gun at him. And if you look closely, you can tell that this person has a beard from the side. Ghost was always rocking a beard. Remember that. Monet will clearly lose everybody from her family in this season. We usually only see Kane inside of a warehouse, right? And it looks like Tariq is inside of a warehouse in this scene. This could be the scene where he finally takes out Kane. But this could also be the scene where Tariq takes out Michael Ealy's character, because in the leaked final episode of season 4, he does get killed. So this could literally be Tariq shooting him once again once he hits the ground. He does this to save Effie's life because she slipped up and this guy got onto her. Plus, when they were wrapping up production and they filmed one of the final scenes, Tariq is dressed in all black in the same exact outfit. You can see the same exact pipes behind Tariq from the warehouse. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you guys believe that this is Ghost or not? It's obviously him. I believe that it's him. Keep in mind that they're actually up to speed with everything that we want, with everything that we've been asking for since the very start. I've sent a lot of my theories to some of the producers, some of the screenwriters through Instagram. Like, I'm talking way back in 2020, all those years ago. One of these writers that I sent my theory to back in 2020 was the same writer who wrote the episode where Lauren came back. She's also a producer on the show. They've clearly surprised us in the past, and they're obviously gonna surprise us in this next season with something big, as it is the final season, the final chapter. I'm pretty sure that they've always been watching our theories. They've always listened to the fans. They've seen your comments. Starz president Catherine Busby, president of programming for Starz, she said, "This explosive season of Ghost is a fitting crescendo in a decade of an immensely popular franchise. Fans will not be disappointed. The number one thing fans have always asked for since we saw the series start back in 2020 is the return of Ghost." She clearly said fans will not be disappointed because they worked things out already. If they don't bring Ghost back, a lot of fans, and I'm talking millions, they will be disappointed. So the fact that she said they will not be disappointed. That alone should let us know that they're really going to surprise us this season, and they're not going to let us down. Courtney Kemp also confirmed that Ghost never actually died. Remember that.
Is Ghost really dead? I got a feeling he faked his death. People ask me that all the time. And I guess my response to that would be, as far as everyone who knows him knows, he's dead. I can't speak to, will it always be that way? Certainly it wasn't written and intended to be that way, that Ghost is dead. But it's the world of power, things can change. But it's the world of power, things can change. But it's the world of power, things can change.
It's definitely not gonna end in a tasteless manner. They've crafted a very specific conclusion for it that Catherine Busby said will not let us down. When an interviewer asked her about the possibility of Ghost's return, she stated, "You're not alone in that hope," clearly referring to the fact that she knows how much the fans want this. And I'm sure that she made it happen for us. And since it's such a high demand, since so many people want this, millions of people want to see this, it's obvious that it's gonna happen. This is going to happen, period. They're not gonna disappoint the fans with this final chapter. They named it the final chapter for a reason. They're trying to hide so much by the teaser. When TV shows do that, that means that they're trying to hide a lot of things. They don't want anything to be giving away. But yeah, guys, this is it, guys. The moment that we've all been waiting for. Now, if Ghost comes back, which he obviously is at this point already, and the real fans know this, I was the very first person who said Ghost was alive back in February of 2020. Now that they will do this, but they need to reach out to 50 Cent and tell him that I want $1 million for bringing Ghost back. Period. Nothing more, nothing less, just $1 million. He's always running around thinking that he's Ghost or something, taking people's money, all that crazy stuff. I mean, it's time, guys. It's time to turn the tables on 50 Cent. But in all seriousness, it would be kind of cool if they actually give me credit towards the very end, towards the credit scene. I doubt that they will, but it would be kind of cool either way, but whatever. I'll honestly be so satisfied just to see that idea play out on screen. I mean, seeing Ghost come back, that is going to break the internet, period. And the real Power fans know where it all started anyways. Since I am a better rapper than Famous, the only way that they could make it up for me at this point is by giving me at least a $10 million record deal with Lionsgate. Moving, cruising, you and gang, who you fooling? Up Perkins are shooting, off the Henny on moving, cruising, Louis Rip exclusive. Up Perkins are shooting, off the Henny on moving, cruising, you and gang, who you fooling? Up Perkins are shooting, off the Henny on moving.